Tutor Doctor was born approximately 20 years ago, almost accidentally, when the founder came out of university and was asked to tutor for people and kids in his own neighborhood. Since then it's grown to 640 plus franchise territories in 17 countries. Here in the UK we are 150 franchise territories strong. We've currently now tutored 5.2 million hours utilizing 36,000 plus tutors in as many as over 100 different subjects in the convenience of the family home. You know, the education space is a very competitive space. I think we know that. There are lots of different companies, some franchised and some not, that are involved in helping kids. Tutor Doctor really differentiates itself in many different ways. So let's talk about the learning center model. There's some great companies out there, but 94% of all the learning centers in the UK do focus on maths only, English only, or the two together. Tutor Doctor has tutored subjects as 100 or more. You know, it's so broad. Plus, our franchise model does not require the expense of a bricks and mortar physical location. Our franchisees work from the comfort of their own home. They manage the business, they do not do the tutoring themselves. They have a team of tutors. In the first year, maybe 40 to 60 tutors. After several years, hundreds of tutors that work part-time, that go out and deliver the tutoring in the home of the families. So not only is the need for not having premises unique about Tutor Doctor, we have no limit on age, we have no limit on subject. Our youngest student is 3, and our oldest student is 94, learning his fourth language. But really we focus on, and a lot of people think that most of our business is focused on exam and test prep. So for example, preparing for the 11 plus. Things have changed since I was at school. Now there's 8 plus and 13 plus in some areas, helping students prepare for their GCSEs, their A-levels, university entrance exams, even US university entrance exams. Why? Because double the number of British students as compared to 7 years ago are now applying for US university spots. So we can help with that preparatory work. But more than half our work is just working with children that are struggling with their regular school curriculum and they need help. I've had my kids turn around when they were younger. Dad, can you help my homework? And I'm going, yeah, no, can't do that. So we get somebody else in to help. Another thing that makes Tutor Doctor very different are some of the intellectual property that we utilize. Every tutoring session, be it an hour or even an hour and a half long, is founded on a program called X-Skills. And X-Skills is not about the content, not the subject itself. It's about embedding 6 core competencies to help every student become a better learner. The other thing that makes us different, the way we market this is we offer a no charge, no obligation in-home consultation, where we go through a 7-step process, really getting to understand where the student is right now, analyzing where they're at so we can plan that journey to the end game, the end goal. And we'll be probably the only company around that I'm aware of that will put in writing for each and every parent a customized academic game plan demonstrating exactly how we're going to get their child from where they are to where they need to be. So the majority of our franchisees do work full-time in this business. Why? Because the demand is so huge, especially in this particular market. So asking a franchisee if they work more than 40 hours in a week it's a very predictable answer. However, there are those. We have something like we call a semi-absentee, almost like what we would call an executive model, where after a period of time, once you know the ropes, you've become confident and aware of what the daily operation looks like, you can delegate that to others so that you can work on the business, but not necessarily in the day-to-day minutiae of the business. When we talk about how we get so much business, it really focuses on a very succinct marketing campaign. And there are really 2 kinds of marketing. One is all the online presence that we have through Google PPC pay-per-click or search engine optimization. So as a large international group, we have a lot of clout with those Google search results. So if somebody is in Stockport and wants a maths GCSE tutor, and they put that in, and there's a franchisee in that area, it's most likely they're going to find Tutor Doctor. They'll make a phone call. That phone call will go into one of our international care centres. We actually have in the UK, we have one in Crewe. In Toronto, we have one from North America, etc., etc. Those boys and girls in Crewe, their sole objective is to book a no obligation, no cost, in-home consultation with the nearest franchisee. That franchisee will go in and perform that 1 hour consultation, do the analysis of that child, put out an academic game plan, and statistically, just over 70%, 7 out of 10 of all families we sit down with across the country will commit, will sign a simple 1-page agreement for an average value of about £1,600 with a profitability somewhere in the region of 25% or more if it's pre-VAT registration. The other important part about Tutor Doctor is we're a very community-centric business. So the franchisee to get out there and involved in the community is really, really important. So our franchisees will get involved with everything from maybe offering a talk to parents preparing their student children for their GCSEs, maybe a library talk, it's free of charge, mums want to know how to best prepare them. Maybe it's getting involved, we actually have a nationwide agreement with Tesco's. You can actually go into Tesco's with your banners talking about Tutor Doctor and somebody comes up, oh, my sister's looking for a tutor for her boy. So it's really about getting out there. We, from school fates to events, we've even got a franchise at the street markets and has done thousands of pounds worth of business from that. So, you know, really it's a question of getting really involved with the community. This is not for the faint of heart. It really suits people that really enjoy people and like getting out there and talking to people, because that's how business happens. One of the most important aspects of looking into a franchise opportunity is asking yourself, what does the typical day look like? You know, there are lots of things to consider. So I'm passionate about my Java. I love my coffee. But will I want to be running a coffee franchise, for example? Maybe, maybe not. You know, what happens on a Sunday morning if your student workers have been out partying the night before? Who's got to go in and play barista? I'm not saying that's the case, but the point is, it's best to have a very real look at what you're going to be doing on a day in, day out basis. When I start giving you details about a day in the life of a Tutor Doctor franchisee and what you'd be up to, you might turn around and say, that's not my cup of tea, excuse the pun, or yeah, I can see myself doing that. So what does it look like? Tutor Doctor franchisees, if you look at it from a very high level, from a 30,000 foot level, you're wearing really 2 hats. The first hat, the first role is student enrollment. Student enrollment's where the rubber hits the road. That's how we make money. So what do student enrollment activities, what are they, what do they look like? Well, from those consultations, you're spending time with families, typically about an hour, doing that consultation and enrolling the student. The other thing we do, the other hat that franchisees wear is the tutor recruitment hat. We recruit existing teachers and tutors, retired educators. We use a lot of university students. In fact, just one of our franchisees just the other day, they did 2 career fairs at 2 universities, one in Kingston, one in Reading. And they had 152 people or students say they like to tutor younger children. So getting involved with the universities, if you have one in your community, doing DBS checks, doing background checks, interviewing, we teach you all that stuff so that you can do that almost blindfold after a few months. So yeah, again, you gotta like talking to people. You don't have to have a background in education. Only 17% of our franchisees have a background in education. The other 83% from all walks of life. In fact, it's really about people wanting to make a difference in the lives in the trajectory of children's lives. Tutor Doctor's been around now for about 20 years, about 10 years in the UK. From the very first franchisee who decided she wanted to get out of corporate with IBM. Actually, purely coincidentally, she's from a place called Farnham in Surrey. I grew up in a place called Godalming, so only a few miles away. She was the first franchisee. She has now taken early retirement. After 10 years, she sold her business for a nice, tidy sum. Provided you're willing to leap out of bed in the morning, be passionate about what you do, and follow the system, you know, thou shalt be successful. That's really franchising in general. Follow the system and have a good work ethos in addressing it. So, you know, is it for everybody? No, it's not. I will say one thing here that's really important for us, the corporate team, because we don't want just anybody as a franchisee. Making money is really important to all of us for many different reasons that might motivate us to make money or more money. At the end of the day, we look for people with empathy as well, people that really want to make a difference in the trajectory of a child's life. And if you're just focused on the money, it's not quite enough to give you that drive and that passion for business. So if you feel that you'd like to make a difference at the same time, help yourself, those two really have to be in place. We will reject franchisees that may have one of those quotients missing.